I think the way you have to look at it, when I say you, in general, the way one who is a music freak, like a lot of us are, you just don't even go near radio. Use radio for what it is. You use a taxi to go from one place to another. It's not like you're going to go on tour and drive around the countryside in a cab, but you will take a beautiful car and take a drive. It's the same with music. If you're really serious about listening, you are not going to go to a radio. The radio is it's almost like white noise for a lot of people. So I don't take it that seriously. I never did. And I worked for a record company for 7 years, and for Polygram, big multinational. I happened to be on the other side of the desk for a few years to find out. I'll tell you what I found out. I found out it was nowhere. I found out that basically I could have been selling shoes for all anybody cared, you know. But what I'm getting at is I hate to see anybody discouraged by radio, because we used to take radio seriously when it took itself seriously. But radio's not serious anymore. There's serious radio, but it's not serious. You know what I mean? There are people that are trying to do that. They're trying to categorize and make radio an area, a place you can go, which I think is wonderful. It costs a few bucks, maybe this and that. But you know, there's so many places to go for music. Why even get bogged down? You know, really, I mean, when I make a move to write a song or to record it, really, I'm sorry to say, it's just for me. Got a couple of my friends, or maybe a girlfriend, or sometimes in the family, just things that mean. And then if something happens, fine. I mean, I read the Eric Clapton book, and if you read seriously about that one song that was his biggest hit, about his kid, he knew if he was to write a song about that, it would. And I can imagine what he went through, because he wanted to.
You have to write it, but you don't want to write it because of that.
That's exactly right. So what I'm saying is that you try to keep personal and intimate that way. Unless you're the kind of writer that, you know, like comes out of Motown, where you just feel the groove and you're writing to connect. That's a different story. That's great. I'm not criticizing, but there are, you know, the intimacy of songs, and you listen to, you know, whether it's Bob Dylan. I mean, you can see the changes he goes through. I don't think he writes necessarily. He has contracts. He's got to come up with the songs. But I don't think he sits down and says, what's for radio? I mean, Jack Bruce, I know, never. As a matter of fact, if anything, Jack would do things that he knew wouldn't go on the radio. And I'm working with him was really something, because that was a whole other approach. I went into it for exactly the right reasons. I was going to be a school teacher, and I was going to get my XKE and play on the weekends, do my bar mitzvahs, sweet 16s. I had it all planned. It was great. I had money in the bank. I actually ordered a XKE. I was going to be this phys ed teacher, so I keep myself in cheap, and I was going to teach history, which I love. I was going to be a teacher. So playing music was going to be a part of my life. It just so happened I was playing music and I was playing with, and I'll say this really clearly, I was lucky enough to cross paths with a lot of people that just helped me out a great deal, and hopefully I helped them out. It's who you're with, you know, who you rub up against. And I was very lucky. I was in New York at the right time. I went to England at the right time, and I never planned it. I don't think I ever. The only thing I ever planned on doing was working for this record company, which was the only thing that I probably shouldn't have done, because I did it for money my whole life. So when you talk about kids starting out today, they're playing the Rock Hero guitar thing, and I have no idea how to play that. But the fact that kids like doing that instead of beating the shit out of one of their other friends because they want to bullies, you know what I mean? The focus of a lot of kids today is nowhere near the frustration of what we were growing up with, you know, whatever that was. So the fact is that I think. Listen, I don't envy anybody, number one, at a record company, if there is a record company out there. They have their hands full. They don't know whether to shit or get off the pot, okay? Because I was there, and I was there just before it went digital, and everything was downloaded. And what happened, it's a whole different world out there. I would hate to be in that position now, you know, of a lot of these guys, because it's very, very disposable. That's the problem, is that actually you and your audience fell in love with music. You just didn't listen to it. That's the difference between what's going on with people these days. You can't fall in love with a dance song. You can have fun with a dance song. But to fall in love with a song and to have it mean something at a place, at a time in your life, that's wonderful. That's like somebody somebody energizing a piece of your soul that will never go away. Yeah. And I guess that's why they call it classic rock. But, you know, nobody in those days ever felt it would have the same effect on people and stay with people the way it did. But it's the nature. I'm not saying that you can't fall in love with songs these days. I'm just saying that our generation, the mass people that listen to the FM stations, they went after their music. They were They were on a journey to fill their life with music, and that was wonderful. And if you were part of that journey, hey, you lucked out. I don't know how many people, friends, kids come up to me, they're 30, 40. Boy, I wish I was around the 60s. Don't worry about it. They'll come back. I think they'll come back.